So a while back, I made videos on two plants, Levitater and the Tangler TM, who were both arena plants that became infamous for being kinda bad. Recently, they both got buffed. As these two just so happen to be the plants I talked about, I am clearly the sole reason for this to happen. So, singular PopCap employee who's totally not watching this. Vamporcini is another plant that exists. Maybe want to buff that, I don't know. Joking aside, people seem to think I somehow didn't know this. While this is usually a fair assumption, seriously I spent like half an hour figuring out what maybe actually does, and I can assure you, I still don't think I know. But I think people forget that I am THE Levitater guy. People think of me and them in the same brain cell. I feel like it would be impossible for me to not know. Meanwhile, the Tangler, TM, is in a similar boat. But like, it's still here. They are still, almost legally, a plant I have covered that has changed. So I think it would be nice to show the differences between them then and now, and cover my own thoughts on them. So, with all that said and done, let's quickly look at the best boy, Levitater. Levitater got a lot of buffs. Like, half its stats have improved just inexplicably, including some that I have no idea what they actually do. Like, I'm sorry, but what does chance to plant food levitate actually mean? Has anyone figured it out? Legitimately, the best I can guess is that Levitater's plant food is actually Omega Jank, and might be worth it with a god roll. Whatever. The stats buffed are the following. Recharge from 20 to 15 between plantings. Attack cooldown reduction by 1.5 seconds, so about 11.5 seconds total including animation time. Knockback has been slightly increased and plant food duration has been doubled. Now, the more interesting stats and changes are to follow. Zombies that are in the air can now be attacked by all projectiles, always. And finally, perhaps the most interestingly, the chance to insta-kill levitated zombies raises from 1% to a whopping 50%! This change alone basically redefines the entire plant into a different role, and a particularly effective one at that. With a fire rate of about 11.5 seconds, and a chance to insta-kill at 50, on average one Levitater will kill a zombie every 23 seconds. The more you have, the more consistent this becomes, and at 50 stun each and 15 seconds recharge, it's not hard to create a huge pile of these things. And as each has their full knockback still, and they were already good stallers, they can still stall things pretty darn well, even if they fail to kill. In other words, you can pretty much just spam them and, with some AoE instant support, pretty much expect them to kill everything. I have a split mind about this. To go over the obvious, it sort of ruins everything I like about the plant. Just a bit. I like Levitater for the light spammable staller that it was, as it was a potent and interesting plant in a very different way. It became something very unique that I saw good value in, ultimately, but a plant that, if you recall me saying, was entirely unfit for arena. And whether I like it or not, this change is designed to address that absolutely massive concern. On a pretty fundamental level, this fixes most of the issues the plant had in arena. It now can kill things, maybe not the most effectively, but well enough. In reality, the main thing holding it back now is incredibly mediocre levels that don't improve the elements of a plant you'd use it for. It fit right in if its chance to insta-kill also increased from 50 to 100, and its recharge also went down. And in that way, the plant can actually do its damn job, which is more important than me liking or not liking the plants. While I think there are still some fundamental problems here, mostly being that it makes no damn sense to ever use the thing over other options still, it's not entirely capable of bringing much when compared to P5 Mega shenanigans, and it's not reliable in the slightest, this is still overall a success. I think some more work could help make it feel less out there in terms of arena plants, which I presume is the goal here, but this is overall a huge improvement. I can already see less complaints about it from here. Now, I can only hope they use this as an opportunity to give the goddamn sniper plant full-on range instead of a single lane. That would be nice. Nobody takes this guy seriously, so I don't exactly plan to, but he hasn't really changed much. Honestly, it's a very similar change to Levitater. Some odd buffs to sun cost and health, an improvement to recharge and its stalling ability slightly, and with a much higher chance to do is grab and instantly kill zombies, at 50 again. It does about as much as you'd expect, and honestly, it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot to say. Realistically, Levitater and Tangler got very similar changes overall with little difference. So, you know, that's interesting. He still can only plant gravestones, but he actually learned his ability is somewhat glitched for some reason. Real quick, I'm just going to explain something quickly to pad the video out a bit, as this is interesting. Okay, so Gravebusted leveling makes it explode. That hasn't mentioned already. However, do you know that leveling also makes it able to eat more targets? The game just never mentions this, and you can tell because the wiki doesn't document it properly, only appearing below the leveling section and with no strategy section dedicated to it. A rarity. Regardless, this means at level 3 and level 8, they can eat surfboards and backpacks/tents, respectively. Niche, but interesting. The same code actually applies to a certain Tangly boy though, and yes, this results in him being able to do his normal stuff in them, which is interesting. However, there is a bug associated with this. For some reason, Gravebuster can't eat backpacks or tents. Instead, when using them, it will just glitch terribly, and those will become immortal. For some reason. The Tangler, TM, doesn't cause this to happen, however, as it simply removes what is placed on immediately. So Tomb Tangler at high levels can actually target something that Gravebuster can't. Granted, backpacks and tents aren't usually the most dangerous things on Earth, but still, it's probably better than eating surfboards. I legitimately can't believe anyone has ever found that element of Gravebuster helpful. Still, that'll probably close off this overly short video. This is the definition of filler, and for some weird reason you all just went and watched it anyways. See, this is why filler exists, because for some reason you all decided to watch this dumb, silly video that covers nothing of real note. You're all, clearly, in need of better taste. This is the best way to grow an audience, I have been told, by insulting them to their face and asking them to subscribe. Clearly. Regardless, I have a bigger video in the works I have to actually, work on, so let me get back to that. This has been Creeps, and, as per usual, have a good one.